Chances are if you're watching this video, then you've seen similar videos like this that share rich people habits. These are habits that rich and wealthy people do that the poor don't. In fact, I actually did a video on this topic where I shared the rich habits that I adopted into my life and how much of an impact that they have made. Now, the funny thing about these rich habits, like you've heard a lot of these habits before about waking up early and reading books and making to-do lists and having goals. Now, the funny thing about that is I've seen some YouTubers, especially the millennials, that share their rich habits and how morning routines just aren't their thing.
It's 9 a.m. early. I mean, technically that's 6 a.m. in Hawaiian Standard Time, so I guess that's not too bad.
A lot of people think that in order to make a lot of money, you have to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I am not a morning person at all. And so usually I start my day at like 9:30ish is when I get up.
And I laugh about that because there was a time, yes, where I didn't have to wake up early, but now I've got 4 kids. That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. So if I want to get anything done and be productive, I've got to get up before they do. So after watching Grant's video,
like the 6 daily habits of millionaires. Millionaires go and wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning every single day. Millionaires go and meditate for 5 hours a day. Millionaires go and read 3 books every single day, and millionaires go and save orphans from burning buildings at least once a week.
when other videos on rich people habits, I thought I would do a follow-up to my rich people habits and also share like what are my millionaire habits? Like what are the things that have truly helped me to become a multi-millionaire? But not just what I have done. What have other multi-millionaires, like what have they done? What have I been able to witness that I can see in other people that they are doing the same things that I have done? And I want to share what those 5 things are with you right now. All right, the first habit that I've implemented in my life that I've also seen other multimillionaires instill in their lives is surrounding yourself with other successful people. It kind of goes without saying, like who you're going to hang out with determines like what your future is going to be. There's a popular quote that says, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Wealthy people understand that if you want to get ahead, if you want to get ahead of the curve, you've got to hang out with people that have big aspirations, that have big dreams, and most importantly, are willing to do the work. You want to surround yourself with people that are driven, that are motivated, that have big ideas, that are willing to put it out there and aren't scared to lose. So personally, I started thinking about back in my life, like when did I start hanging out with other successful people? And more importantly, when did I stop hanging out with people that were not a positive influence? And it all started back in my career. When I started my career, I hung out with other successful financial advisors. I wanted to pick their brain. I wanted to be a sponge and learn everything that I could from them. All the things that led to their success. Later on, I invested $8,000 into a business coaching program, hanging out with other entrepreneurs that were driven just like me. So you imagine all these people that were there, they were committed. They were willing to spend $8,000 to be a part of this coaching program. Obviously, they were committed to growth. They were committed to advancing themselves and be getting better. Obviously, if they were willing to invest $8,000, they were in it to win it. They wanted to grow. They wanted to advance. They wanted to keep pushing the envelope and making sure that they weren't becoming complacent. That's why I always talk about the importance of mastermind groups and mentorships, because in those cases, you are surrounding yourself with people that want to lift you up, that want to encourage you and make sure that you are pushing yourself. And most importantly, you are avoiding the butt pews. If you don't know what a butt pew is, then check out my other video where I talk about what a butt pew is and why you want to avoid them, because all they're going to do is keep you broke. All right, the second millionaire habit that I have adopted is I love to fail. Winners love to fail. Successful people love to fail. Now that may sound counterintuitive because typically you think that if you want to be successful, you don't want to fail. But here's the truth. If you're not failing, then you're not trying. You're not learning. Now, when I say I love to fail, that doesn't mean like I love to fail and quit and give up and never try again. If I'm failing, that means I'm trying something new, trying something different, putting myself out there outside of my comfort zone and willing to see what I need to do, what adjustments I need to make sure that it works the next time. Millionaires love to be challenged. They love to try new things. They love to see if they try new things, what are the amazing results that can happen, because they know they are just one good idea, one awesome idea to making even more money. Failing is awesome.
That's a big thumbs up, dude.
All right, the third millionaire habit that I have is the ability to say no.
No!
No.N.O.
Here's the one thing that you'll realize as you advance in your career or starting a business is that you're going to have so many different opportunities. And every single opportunity is going to sound amazing. I don't know what you said, but that sounds good. But here's the thing that you have to realize. Every time that you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And the thing that you're saying no to, you may not realize it, but that might be the thing that you should be doing. And oftentimes we lie to ourselves. We want to make ourselves believe that we can do all the things, but we don't realize like how much mental energy that saying yes to everything that robs us of. It takes up so much productivity, so much margin that we just don't have it when we need it. I was at a conference one time listening to Ramit Sethi, the author of I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and he said one of the most profound things that he does when analyzing different business opportunities. What he said was that if the initial response, if the initial feeling that you have in your gut, in your heart is not a hell yes, then it is a hell no. So stated another way, like if it's just something that just doesn't sound absolutely amazing, that you know that you need to drop everything and do it right now, then you need to pass and move on. You need to say,
No!
all right, the fourth millionaire habit that I have that other multimillionaires have is that we always keep learning. Warren Buffett recently just turned 89 years old. He is a multi-billionaire and he still reads 500 pages per day. Like, the dude probably knows everything, but yet he still sees the importance of learning. I can remember when I was graduating college and taking my last final exam, and I was celebrating because I thought I'm never going to take another test in my life, and I was completely wrong. I ended up taking my Series 7 license, got my insurance license, and also my CFP designation. I ended up learning even more after college than I did while I was in college, which probably makes a lot of sense since I was probably having a little bit too much fun in college, but I digress. I can remember several years ago when I was in Michael Hyatt's Inner Circle Mastermind group. And while I was in that group, Michael shared that he had recently bought this online course talking about how to give a webinar presentation. And I was so amazed by that because he spent like $2,500 on this course, but not the fact of the money he spent, but this was a guy that was the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. And yet he was still buying online courses and learning because he wanted to stay ahead of the competition. He wanted to make sure that he wasn't complacent and just being stuck and letting everybody else pass him by. He recognized the importance of continuing to learn. All right, number 5, the fifth millionaire habit. And this one makes me a little uncomfortable. Gosh, I don't know. Oh, I should share this one. I don't know. Feeling getting a little anxiety. All right, the fifth millionaire habit that I have and other successful multimillionaires also have is the ability to be comfortable being uncomfortable. See, here's the thing about being a millionaire, about being an entrepreneur, about being a business owner is that it is not a linear curve. Like, things don't always work out the way that you hope, that you dream, or that you've planned, that you've visioned. You're going to have so many things thrown at you that you can't help but be uncomfortable. And that's why many people can't stomach the roller coaster ride that it takes to become a successful entrepreneur and a multi-millionaire. They can't stomach the risk. They can't stomach not knowing what's going to happen next. The uncertainty kills them. But here's the thing you have to remember about being uncomfortable is that you don't have to like it. Actually, I hate it. I hate being uncomfortable. I hate when uncertainty looms. But also recognize like that is part of the journey. That's part of building your character and being able to stomach when times get really tough. I can remember one of the times I was most uncomfortable. This is whenever I left my original brokerage firm, the firm that I started my career with, that I was with for over 5 years, left to co-found my own investment firm, but decided to do so 3 months before the worst bear market in my lifetime. Yes, this is back in 2008. So between the transition of getting my clients to transfer over and the stock market crash, my business was down over 55%. You talk about being uncomfortable. It sucked. I can literally remember days of being so stressed out, wondering if I made the right decision. And now I can fast forward 11 years and say it was one of the best decisions, one of the best business business decisions that I made because I was willing to put myself in an uncomfortable situation that most people couldn't stomach. But that didn't mean it didn't stress me out, let me tell you, because I was stressed and my wife was equally stressed. But I made it. I'm here. Check it. If you have the opportunity hanging around multimillionaires, chances are you're going to recognize that they have one, if not all, of these millionaire habits. If you have a chance to surround yourself with other multimillionaires, chances are you've seen them implement or adopt some of these habits. In fact, they probably have adopted all of them. Which one of these habits do you know that you need to implement in your life today? One that you keep talking about it, you keep saying you're gonna get around to it, but it just doesn't happen. Let me know in the comments below because we wanna help you succeed, we want to help you achieve. This is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace. And if you're still here, we should go and hit that like button.